China thinks their underground bunkers are untouchable. Russia believes their S-400 missiles can stop anything. Iran hides nuclear facilities beneath mountains of concrete and steel. But here's what they don't know. America just revealed the most terrifying number in modern warfare. 100. Not 99, not 101. Exactly 100 B-21 Raider stealth bombers. Every defense expert thought this was about money. They're wrong. This number represents pure strategic genius, a mathematical formula designed to penetrate any defense system on Earth. Today, we decode why this precise number will reshape global power forever. Welcome to Jet Insight, where we reveal the strategies that protect American freedom. The B-21 Raider program represents the most calculated military decision in decades. When Pentagon strategists chose 100 aircraft, they weren't thinking about budgets or production costs. They were solving a strategic puzzle that our enemies hope we can't figure out. They were wrong. This isn't about buying more bombers. This is about mathematical warfare. Strategic planners calculated exactly how many aircraft America needs to simultaneously threaten every major adversary while maintaining nuclear deterrence and supporting global allies. The answer shocked even military experts. But here's the part that keeps Chinese generals awake at night. Those 100 bombers aren't spread randomly across the globe. They're positioned to create what strategists call strategic convergence, the ability to mass devastating firepower against any target, anywhere, within hours. Every hostile nation now faces an impossible choice: defend everything and defend nothing effectively, or concentrate defenses and leave critical targets exposed. Either way, they lose. If you believe America's military should stay ahead of our enemies, type "proud" in the comments below and let us know what you think. The strategic genius begins with simple mathematics that terrify our adversaries. Military analysts know that only 30% of any bomber fleet remains available for immediate combat operations. Maintenance, training, and nuclear alert duties consume the rest. This means 100 B-21s provide approximately 30 bombers ready for instant deployment. 30 bombers capable of penetrating the most advanced air defenses ever created. 30 aircraft that can strike targets in Beijing, Moscow, and Tehran simultaneously while remaining invisible to enemy radar. 30 platforms that can carry nuclear weapons or conventional explosives, keeping enemies guessing until impact. But the real strategic breakthrough lies in what military experts call force multiplication. Each B-21 doesn't operate alone. It coordinates with satellites, submarines, fighter jets, and cyber warfare units to create effects far beyond its individual capabilities. Consider this scenario that Chinese military planners study obsessively. Tensions rise over Taiwan. China masses invasion forces while deploying their most advanced air defenses. Traditional military thinking suggests America would need hundreds of aircraft to penetrate these defenses. The B-21 changes everything. Just 12 of these bombers, approaching from different directions, can systematically dismantle China's entire air defense network in a single coordinated strike. How? Each bomber carries multiple weapons that can engage separate targets simultaneously. Advanced stealth technology renders them invisible until weapons impact. Electronic warfare capabilities jam Chinese communications and radar systems. Within hours, China's most sophisticated defenses become useless metal scattered across the landscape. Their invasion plans collapse before they begin. This is strategic deterrence through technological superiority. The number 100 ensures America can execute such operations globally while maintaining nuclear deterrence responsibilities. It provides the flexibility to handle multiple crises simultaneously, a capability no other nation possesses. Before we reveal how these bombers will penetrate enemy defenses, here's a quick favor. If you find this military analysis valuable, please subscribe to our channel. Over 98% of our viewers watch without subscribing, but your support helps us bring more strategic insights. So did you hit that subscribe button? The strategic calculation behind 100 aircraft becomes clearer when examining China's defensive preparations. Beijing has invested hundreds of billions in advanced air defense systems, believing they can deny American access to the Western Pacific. Their confidence rests on sophisticated radar networks, long-range missiles, and underground command bunkers designed to survive nuclear strikes. American strategists studied these defenses extensively before determining the B-21 fleet size. They calculated exactly how many bombers would be needed to overwhelm Chinese air defenses while maintaining sufficient reserve forces for other global commitments. The answer: 100 aircraft provides overwhelming superiority against any conceivable enemy defense system, while ensuring America retains global strike capabilities. But here's what makes this number truly strategic. It's specifically designed to force enemy miscalculations. Chinese military planners must now assume that any group of aircraft approaching their territory could include invisible B-21s. This uncertainty paralyzes their decision-making process. Do they activate expensive air defense systems every time radar detects approaching aircraft? The cost becomes prohibitive. Do they assume every contact is a false alarm? They risk annihilation from bombers they never saw coming. The B-21's stealth capabilities represent 50 years of technological advancement compressed into a single platform. Unlike previous stealth aircraft designed primarily against Soviet-era threats, the B-21 specifically targets China's most modern air defense systems. Chinese HQ-9 missiles use advanced radar technology supposedly capable of detecting stealth aircraft. Russian S-400 systems employ multiple radar frequencies to track low observable targets. Iranian air defenses incorporate lessons learned from decades of American bombing campaigns. None of them can reliably detect or engage a B-21 radar. The bomber's flying wing design eliminates radar-reflecting surfaces that previous aircraft couldn't avoid. Advanced composite materials absorb electromagnetic energy across multiple frequency bands. Specialized coatings scatter radar waves in directions away from enemy receivers. Most importantly, the B-21 incorporates what engineers call broadband stealth, invisibility across the entire electromagnetic spectrum. While previous stealth aircraft might appear on some radar frequencies, the B-21 remains virtually undetectable, regardless of the sensor technology employed against it. This technological superiority translates directly into strategic advantage. American bombers can penetrate enemy airspace, strike critical targets, and withdraw before defensive systems recognize they're under attack. The range capabilities add another layer of strategic complexity that enemies struggle to counter. Each B-21 can fly over 6,000 miles without refueling, sufficient to strike targets anywhere in China from American territory. With aerial refueling, these bombers can reach any location on Earth. This global reach eliminates the need for vulnerable forward bases near enemy territory. Previous bombing campaigns required extensive logistical preparations, establishing supply lines and staging areas within enemy missile range. The B-21 operates directly from secure American bases, launching strikes across oceans without warning. Enemy forces cannot predict when or where American bombers might appear. They cannot target staging areas because none exist within their reach. They cannot disrupt supply lines because B-21s carry everything needed for their missions internally. The psychological impact on enemy military planning cannot be overstated. Chinese strategists must now assume that American bombers could appear over Beijing, Shanghai, or military installations in western China without prior warning. Russian planners face similar uncertainties regarding Moscow, St. Petersburg, or strategic facilities in Siberia. This uncertainty forces enemies to disperse their defenses across enormous geographic areas, weakening protection for any specific target. Concentrated air defenses become impossible when threats can emerge from any direction at any time. The weapon's payload capabilities multiply these strategic effects exponentially. Each B-21 carries up to 30,000 pounds of precision-guided munitions, enough firepower to destroy multiple high-value targets in a single mission. But payload capacity means nothing without the ability to deliver weapons accurately against defended targets. The B-21 incorporates the most advanced targeting systems ever installed in military aircraft. Synthetic aperture radar can map targets through any weather conditions. Electro-optical sensors provide precise target identification from extreme distances. Electronic warfare suites can jam enemy communications while simultaneously guiding weapons to their destinations. Most critically, each bomber can engage multiple targets simultaneously using different types of weapons. A single B-21 might destroy enemy radar installations with anti-radiation missiles, strike command bunkers with bunker-busting bombs, and eliminate mobile missile launchers with precision-guided explosives, all during one mission. This multi-target engagement capability explains why 100 bombers provide such overwhelming strategic advantage. Traditional force planning required separate aircraft for different types of targets. The B-21 handles multiple target categories simultaneously, multiplying effective combat power beyond simple aircraft numbers. The nuclear deterrence mission adds profound strategic dimensions that conventional analysis often overlooks. Each B-21 can carry both conventional and nuclear weapons, creating ambiguity that strengthens deterrence across the conflict spectrum. When enemy radar operators detect approaching aircraft, they cannot determine weapon types until impact. This uncertainty forces them to assume worst-case scenarios, elevating every conventional engagement to potential nuclear significance. The B-21 will carry the new long-range standoff missile, a nuclear-armed cruise missile with 1,500-mile range. This weapon can engage targets deep inside enemy territory, while the bomber remains in international airspace, safely beyond defensive engagement zones. Nuclear capability transforms the strategic equation completely. Enemies know that escalating conflicts with America risks nuclear retaliation delivered by bombers they cannot stop. This knowledge makes conventional aggression far less attractive, strengthening deterrence at every level. The industrial strategy behind 100 aircraft reveals additional strategic calculations, often ignored by critics focused solely on military capabilities. This production run maintains America's aerospace manufacturing base, while avoiding the cost overruns that plagued smaller programs like the B-2 Spirit. 21 B-2 bombers cost over $2 billion each because fixed development costs were spread across too few aircraft. 100 B-21s distribute those same fixed costs more efficiently, reducing unit costs while maintaining technological superiority. The production timeline spreads manufacturing across multiple years, sustaining employment in critical aerospace industries while allowing continuous improvement of manufacturing processes. This approach strengthens America's defense industrial base, rather than creating boom-bust cycles that damage long-term capabilities. International implications extend far beyond immediate military considerations. Allied nations understand that American bomber capacity directly affects their security. Countries like Australia, Japan, and South Korea gain confidence knowing that B-21s can respond to regional threats within hours. This assurance strengthens alliance structures while reducing pressure on allies to develop their own expensive long-range strike capabilities. Burden sharing becomes more effective when America provides unique capabilities that allies cannot duplicate independently. Conversely, potential adversaries must reconsider aggressive actions, knowing that American retaliation capabilities have expanded dramatically. The B-21 program signals long-term American commitment to maintaining military superiority, discouraging enemy investment in competing systems. Chinese military publications reveal growing concern about the B-21's strategic implications. Some analysts question whether existing air defense systems can provide effective protection against such advanced stealth technology. Others worry about the economic costs of countering American bomber capabilities. These concerns reflect successful strategic deterrence. When enemies doubt their ability to defend against American capabilities, they become less likely to initiate conflicts. Deterrence works best when potential aggressors understand they cannot achieve their objectives through military force. The tactical employment concepts developed for the B-21 demonstrate revolutionary thinking about airpower projection. Previous bomber operations relied on massive formations, overwhelming enemy defenses through sheer numbers. The B-21 operates differently. Small formations of 2 to 4 bombers can achieve effects previously requiring dozens of aircraft. Advanced coordination capabilities allow these small groups to engage targets across vast geographic areas simultaneously. Enemy defenses designed to counter large bomber formations become irrelevant against dispersed, coordinated attacks. The bombers don't operate independently. Each mission coordinates with space-based sensors, submarine-launched cruise missiles, cyber warfare operations, and electronic jamming platforms. This integration creates synergistic effects where combined capabilities exceed the sum of individual components. Enemy commanders face impossible defensive calculations. They must simultaneously counter stealth bombers, submarine-launched missiles, cyber attacks on their communication systems, and electronic jamming of their sensors. No defense system can handle such coordinated, multi-domain threats effectively. The training and operational concepts being developed at Ellsworth Air Force Base reflect these revolutionary employment methods. Crews learn not just to fly advanced bombers, but to coordinate complex operations across multiple domains while adapting to rapidly changing tactical situations. This training emphasizes flexibility and adaptation rather than rigid mission execution. B-21 crews must think strategically while executing tactical missions, understanding how their actions contribute to broader operational objectives. For our community of military veterans, active service members, and defense enthusiasts, we'd love to have you share your insights and experience with fellow viewers. Your professional perspective enriches our analysis and helps everyone understand these complex strategic issues better. The maintenance and support infrastructure represents another carefully calculated strategic decision. Unlike the B-20, which required specialized maintenance facilities and unique support equipment, the B-21 uses more conventional support systems wherever possible. This design philosophy reduces operating costs while improving mission availability rates. More bombers remain ready for combat operations because routine maintenance requires less time and specialized equipment. The reduced support burden also enables more flexible basing options. B-21s can operate from bases lacking specialized B-2 support capabilities, providing greater geographic distribution and operational flexibility. Distributed basing complicates enemy targeting calculations significantly. Rather than concentrating bombers at a few heavily defended locations, the B-21 can disperse across multiple bases, making coordinated attacks against American bomber forces nearly impossible. The electronic warfare capabilities integrated into every B-21 provide another strategic advantage often overlooked in public discussions. These systems can jam enemy radar and communications while simultaneously protecting the bomber from electronic attack. More importantly, B-21s can coordinate their electronic warfare effects with other platforms, creating electromagnetic bubbles that protect entire strike formations. This capability enables conventional aircraft to operate in heavily defended airspace by suppressing enemy sensors and communications. The network-centric warfare capabilities transform each B-21 into more than just a bomber. These aircraft serve as airborne command centers, coordinating complex operations across vast distances while remaining invisible to enemy detection systems. Future operations may see B-21s directing unmanned combat aircraft while simultaneously engaging their own targets. This capability multiplies effective combat power by enabling each manned bomber to control multiple unmanned platforms. The strategic implications of networked bomber operations extend beyond immediate tactical advantages. Enemies must counter not just individual aircraft, but entire networks of coordinated platforms sharing targeting data and coordinating attacks in real time. The cost-effectiveness analysis supporting 100 aircraft demonstrates sophisticated strategic thinking often missing from public debates. While $700 million per bomber seems expensive, the strategic capabilities provided justify every dollar invested. Consider the alternatives. Developing equivalent strike capabilities using conventional aircraft would require hundreds of planes, thousands of supporting personnel, and vulnerable forward bases within enemy missile range. The total cost would exceed B-21 program expenses while providing inferior capabilities. The B-21 program also maintains American technological leadership in critical aerospace technologies. The manufacturing processes, material science, and systems integration capabilities developed for this program benefit broader American aerospace industries. This technological spillover strengthens American competitiveness in commercial aviation markets while maintaining the industrial base needed for future military developments. The strategic benefits compound over time as American aerospace superiority reinforces military advantages. The timeline for achieving initial operational capability reflects urgent strategic priorities driven by rapidly evolving global threats. Chinese military modernization accelerates every year, requiring American responses that maintain technological advantages. The B-21 program schedule ensures these bombers enter service before enemy air defense systems can develop effective countermeasures. This timing preserves American strategic advantages during the critical transition period as global power balances shift. Early operational capability also provides immediate deterrent effects even before the full 100 aircraft fleet becomes available. Enemy planners must account for B-21 capabilities as soon as the first bombers become operational, complicating their strategic calculations years before program completion. The global strategic balance shifts fundamentally as B-21 deployment proceeds. Current American bomber capabilities, while impressive, show their age when facing modern air defense systems. The B-21 restores overwhelming American advantages just as potential adversaries thought they had achieved defensive parity. This technological leap ensures American military superiority extends decades into the future. The B-21's advanced design allows continuous upgrades and improvements, maintaining effectiveness against evolving threats throughout its service life. The bomber's modular architecture enables integration of new weapons, sensors, and communication systems as they become available. This adaptability ensures America's investment remains relevant regardless of how threats evolve over the coming decades. The strategic messaging inherent in the 100 aircraft decision resonates globally among allies and adversaries alike. This commitment demonstrates American resolve to maintain military superiority, regardless of cost or complexity. Allied nations gain confidence knowing that American strategic capabilities continue expanding rather than declining. This assurance strengthens alliance relationships while encouraging greater burden sharing in other military areas. Potential adversaries receive a different message entirely. The B-21 program signals that America will not accept strategic parity or allow enemies to achieve local military advantages. This determination complicates enemy planning while discouraging aggressive actions. The nuclear modernization aspects of the B-21 program deserve special attention given current global tensions. These bombers will carry the most advanced nuclear weapons in American inventory, ensuring credible deterrence against any potential adversary. The dual-capable nature of these aircraft creates strategic ambiguity that strengthens deterrence across the conflict spectrum. Enemies cannot determine whether approaching B-21s carry conventional or nuclear weapons until impact, forcing them to assume worst-case scenarios in every engagement. This ambiguity makes conventional conflicts more dangerous for potential aggressors, while strengthening deterrence against nuclear escalation. The strategic balance tilts decisively toward stability when aggression risks nuclear retaliation delivered by unstoppable bombers. The long-term strategic vision underlying the B-21 program extends far beyond current threats to encompass potential challenges decades in the future. Defense planners must consider not just today's enemies, but threats that may emerge as global power structures continue evolving. The bomber's advanced design provides flexibility to address unknown future challenges while maintaining decisive advantages against current threats. This forward-thinking approach ensures American strategic investments remain relevant throughout rapidly changing security environments. The 100 aircraft fleet size reflects careful analysis of probable future scenarios rather than simple extrapolation from current requirements. Strategic planners considered multiple potential conflict scenarios, alliance obligations, and nuclear deterrence responsibilities when determining optimal fleet size. The result provides sufficient capability to handle any reasonably conceivable threat scenario, while maintaining reserve capacity for unexpected developments. This strategic reserve ensures America retains options regardless of how global security challenges evolve. Looking toward the future, the B-21 program may expand beyond 100 aircraft if strategic circumstances require additional capabilities. The production infrastructure being established now could support larger numbers if international tensions continue escalating. However, the current planned fleet provides overwhelming advantages against any existing or projected threats. 100 B-21s represent more combat capability than most nations' entire military establishments, ensuring American strategic dominance for generations. The technological superiority embodied in each aircraft multiplies this numerical advantage exponentially. When individual platforms can accomplish missions previously requiring entire squadrons, relatively modest numbers provide decisive strategic effects. The B-21 Raider proves that American military supremacy results from strategic thinking, technological innovation, and unwavering commitment to defending freedom worldwide. The decision to build exactly 100 aircraft represents calculated strategic genius that will reshape global power balances for decades. These bombers embody American values and capabilities at their finest. They demonstrate that innovative thinking, backed by superior technology and unlimited determination, can overcome any challenge posed by hostile nations. When our enemies contemplate aggression, they must now consider the certainty that B-21 bombers can appear over their most critical targets without warning. This knowledge changes their calculations, making conflict less likely and peace more secure. The strategic mathematics are undeniable. 100 B-21 bombers provide America with unprecedented global strike capabilities while maintaining nuclear deterrence and supporting alliance obligations. This isn't just about numbers. It's about preserving the peace through strength that protects the free world. If this deep dive into American strategic planning impressed you, show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing for more military analysis that reveals the strategies protecting our freedom. Your engagement helps us continue bringing you the stories that matter most. The B-21 Raider represents America at its strategic best, thinking decades ahead, investing in technological superiority, and demonstrating the resolve necessary to defend our values against any threat. These 100 bombers will serve as guardians of liberty for generations, ensuring that America remains the world's most powerful force for good in an uncertain world.